Elon Musk just revealed its new cargo Starship. The past year saw a historic breakthrough in private human spaceflight for multiple companies, including SpaceX. And CEO Elon Musk believes his company is building a vehicle that he believes represents the holy grail of space travel. And he isn't wrong. The technology developed by SpaceX for its rockets is so revolutionary that it's inspiring other organizations to take inspiration from it. The U.S. Air Force is expanding a small development program that wants to leverage reusable rockets, like those SpaceX is building, to deliver cargo quickly to anywhere in the world. Today we're going to talk about the new cargo Starship that Elon Musk has just revealed. We've heard all about the Starship that Elon Musk is building, but what new details have been revealed by the eccentric billionaire about his new cargo Starship? Well, stick around to find out. So let's dive right in. Starship and Super Heavy are the biggest, most important pieces of Elon Musk's grand plan for SpaceX, his private spaceflight company. Musk has repeatedly stressed that he founded SpaceX back in 2002 primarily to help humanity colonize Mars. It's vital that we become a multi-planet species, the billionaire entrepreneur has said, citing both a much reduced probability of extinction and the thrill that meaningful space exploration will deliver to billions of people around the world. SpaceX is now actively trying to turn this sci-fi dream into reality. The company is developing a 100-passenger spaceship called Starship and a giant rocket known as Super Heavy, which together constitutes the transportation system that Musk thinks will bring Mars settlement within reach at long last. These updates have become a highly anticipated annual tradition. Musk has given one every September since 2016. During that first presentation, he laid out the basic idea: a large spacecraft and a huge rocket, both of which will be completely and rapidly reusable. The rocket will launch the spacecraft into Earth orbit and then come back down to Earth for a vertical propulsive landing. This spaceship, meanwhile, will make its own way from Earth's orbit to Mars, or to the Moon, or any other desired destination. The craft will touch down on such alien worlds and take off from them as well, without the need for any additional landing craft or ascent vehicles. A separate rocket is needed just to get out of Earth's substantial gravity well. Off-Earth refueling of the ship is therefore key to Musk's vision. For example, spacecraft coming home from Mars or the Moon will need to be topped up on those worlds using locally produced propellant. In 2016, Musk called this architecture the Interplanetary Transport System. This name was new, as the billionaire had previously referred to his envisioned concept as the Mars Colonial Transporter. The ITS will stand 400 feet tall when stacked, Musk said back then. The rocket will contribute most of that height, measuring 254 feet tall to the ship's 162 feet. There will be some overlap between the two vehicles during stacking, which explains why the total height isn't 416 feet. Both vehicles will be powered by SpaceX's next-generation Raptor engine, which is more powerful than the Merlin that propels the company's Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy rockets. The ITS ship will sport 9 Raptors, and the 40-foot-wide booster will boast a whopping 42, allowing the rocket to produce 13,033 tons of thrust at liftoff, 3.6 times more than NASA's Saturn V moon rocket was able to generate, Musk said. For comparison, the Falcon 9 has 9 first-stage engines, and the Falcon Heavy has 27. This overall vision has held firm over the past 3 years, but Musk has repeatedly tweaked the design in the system's name. In 2017, for example, he announced that ITS was now the BFR, which stood for Big Falcon Rocket. The BFR was shorter, slimmer, and less powerful than its design predecessor, measuring 348 feet tall by 30 feet wide when stacked, and featuring only 31 Raptor engines on the booster and 6 on the spaceship. But the biggest change the company faced was concerning the use of the spaceship rocket duo. Musk announced that SpaceX eventually planned to employ the BFR for all its spaceflight needs, from launching satellites to ferrying people to and from Mars to cleaning up space junk in Earth orbit. The Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy therefore will be phased out over the long haul, as will both crew and cargo variants of SpaceX's Dragon capsule. In September 2018, Musk told us that the rocket spaceship duo will now stand 387 feet tall when stacked. The BFR ship will also sport 7 Raptors instead of 6, Musk added, and the vehicle will now sport 4 movable fins, 2 near its nose and 2 bigger ones near the tail. These fins will help the ship maneuver its way to safe landings on worlds with significant atmospheres, such as Mars and Earth. The 2 rear fins will also serve as landing pads, as will a leg that's stylized to look like a fin, Musk said. 2 months later, the BFR was no more. Musk told us that the system will now be called Starship. That'll also be the spaceship's name, whereas the huge rocket will be called Super Heavy. That brings us to the next design update, which Musk presented on September 28, 2019 from SpaceX's South Texas facility near the tiny village of Boca Chica. The billionaire didn't announce any huge changes, though there was some more engine news. Super Heavy will now have space for 37 Raptors, though not all of those slots will be filled every flight. Each mission will probably need at least 24 Raptors on the booster, Musk said. And in April 2021, NASA selected Starship as the first crewed lander for its Artemis moon exploration program. The SpaceX vehicle will put NASA astronauts down on the moon on the Artemis 3 mission, which is targeted to lift off in 2025 or thereabouts. So, are you guys enjoying the video? What has CEO Elon Musk revealed in his latest 2 announcements regarding the Starship, and what changes should we expect from the new cargo ship? Do you have any idea? So while you think, do subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to receive instant notification about all our future videos. Last month's presentation was Musk's first in-depth Starship update in more than 2 years. He last gave such a talk in September 2019, so he had some new details to share. For example, Musk said that the Super Heavy will sport 33 Raptors going forward, an increase over the previous number, which was 29. The final Starship vehicle will likely get a power boost as well, from its current 6 Raptors to 9, Musk added. He spoke in front of the fully stacked Starship that'll perform the program's first orbital test flight, a duo known as Booster 4 and Ship 20. SpaceX aims to have the vehicle ready to fly around the time that the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration wraps up its environmental assessment of Starbase, a milestone that's expected by the end of the month. Called Rocket Cargo, the experimental military program will be led by the U.S. Space Force, the Pentagon said. The program will research and help develop capabilities, such as landing a rocket on a wide range of non-traditional materials and surfaces, engineering a rocket cargo bay, and logistics for rapid loading and unloading and airdropping cargo from the rocket after re-entry in order to service locations where a rocket or aircraft cannot possibly land. The Air Force's 2022 budget proposal requested almost $50 million for rocket cargo to continue the study concept work it began last year with small contracts to SpaceX and Exploration Architecture Corporation. Rocket cargo effectively describes the Starship rockets that SpaceX is developing, as the military program will look at fully reusable private rockets that can launch between 30 and 100 tons. Currently, Starship is the only rocket in development that plans to both be reused and can both launch that much mass. Point-to-point space travel is a form of transportation in which a rocket would launch into space and then return to another location, making it hypothetically capable of bringing supplies or possibly people from one side of the Earth to the other in under an hour. SpaceX has been testing prototypes of Starship at its facility in Texas, most recently landing and recovering prototype SN-15 after a high-altitude flight test. SpaceX is aiming to accomplish a feat no previous rocket has achieved, reusing rockets quickly to make spaceflight more akin to air travel, instead of the traditional approach of discarding the rocket after launch. So, are you excited to see SpaceX's new cargo Starship make history? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to watch more of our amazing videos, then stay tuned.